Yo, what's up, y'all? It's your boy P Lot, aka the Brick Slinger, and as you can see on my left, it's my brother, Mr. Analytical.
Hey, how y'all doing?
All right. So, without further ado, I like my brother to go ahead and present the topic, and we'll go from there.
Uh, Today's topic is the nomination of Ketanji Brown and kind of like the lack of research and things that people didn't really look into because they're so blinded by skin tone and the so-called white supremacists attacking her. And to me, and also why I consider it a bad move, so to speak. I don't know how he feels about it, but um, I mean, there really I don't have a whole lot to say on the topic. I'll say my piece because I don't want make it seem like I'm coming off negative. I'm just coming off truthful as I normally am.
hmm
So I'm gonna let him start off.
Excuse me. So, well, if anything, with this is a historical event for a woman of color, a black woman in particular, to be confirmed as and nominated and confirmed as the Supreme Court judge. And for those who probably do not understand what that means that is like the final judgment call as far as court goes. Because there's a civil court, city courts, and so many other courts, but the Supreme Court is the ultimate stands right there. It stops right there, and it's like any case can go there and be determined whether or not if it's a guilty call or a non-guilty call. Is this an access call or denied call? And even not too long ago, the president case dealing with the mandate of mask, that was overturned not too long ago this year. However, when we dealing with what's the name,
Kataji or something like.
Kantaji Brown, Kantaji Jackson, whatever. Please forgive me for choosing which last name I'm rocking with, but it's obvious that this woman is got the spotlight on her due to her hearing as well as her position of being the newest member of the Supreme Court chairman. Um, if nothing else, from the outside, we seeing quote unquote prejudice and racism and all that stuff due to the fact that she is a black woman. So in one case, she's gonna get it the worst due to the fact that she is an African American as well as a woman. Um, if anything, I definitely would like to address not only the not the consequences, but the conflict that she will be experiencing in that position, but also the conflict that is being displayed by her in the hearing. And there may be a sense of disagreement, there may be a sense of agreement. However, when it all said and done, the conversation needs to be on display. For for far as I'm concerned, this is definitely going to be the biggest challenge for her, as well as the biggest challenge for Black people as a whole, because this is not like 10 years ago. 10 years ago, we celebrated a Black president and with his Black family. Now we're in a point where I don't know. This may be something where as a whole, in general, we're still trying to hold on to hope of transitioning from an all-white nation, for whatever the case folks may believe, to a colorful nation. However, everybody knows when it comes to change, there's always going to be a problem. If you want peace, you got to go through the chaos. But if anything, I definitely want to have this conversation on display, and I definitely want to make sure that every detail that's be analyzed by my brother, Mr. Analytical, is be on display, and whatever the case may be, hopefully you'll get the chance to be see it through it all. So, if anything, based upon what we probably don't know, Mr. Analytical, what do we need to know about her as now the Supreme Court judge?
Um, like I said, I'm not trying to rain nobody's parade. You can celebrate all you want to, but the reality is this: that woman did not deserve to be Supreme Court judge, and this is not a political reason whatsoever. This is not a biased reason. This is just the facts. If you look her up, Google, Bing, DuckDuckGo, whatever search engine that you use, this woman has a long history of being soft on crime.
Mm.
This a couple of senators had brought up the fact that a drug dealer was let off who was selling fentanyl. She saw it as, if I'm quoting them correctly, a victimless crime, according to her, and not giving this drug dealer the mandatory minimum, but she went below that. Yeah, and they also brought up the fact that along being soft on crime, that she in her own district was more likely to give suspects less time or no time below the local average in DC, where she was a lawyer at first, and that was 25% lower than the average in that area.
Wow.
Nationwide, once her name got bigger and then she started taking on bigger cases outside her own state, that mentality has never changed. I believe the minimum percentage for judges nationwide given people's sentences was I think about 70, 80. Actually, I'm not even going to display a number that I don't know, but based on that average, her delivering verdicts on court cases and giving criminals less sentence time, that her average was 39% lower than the average.
I'm good Lord, that just messed my head up. You telling me this woman as a judge has a low number percentage as far as giving people the correct sentences?
Yes, because she believes that some of the sentences, regardless of what crime it was a little bit too high. So she decided to give these suspects or these criminals less time. And let me explain something to you. The reason why she does that is not necessarily to because to me she's a criminal sympathizer. That's just my personal opinion. But I think most lawyers and judges do that. It's because they try to check off an accolade on their resume. Because that's how most lawyers and judges get ahead in the judicial system. That's just facts. Along with that, what really was disturbing to me is that when these senators list off all the times she let Hebephiles and pedophiles give them life sentences or no jail time. This one person that showed little or no remorse. I forgot his name. He was raping his niece repeatedly. Of course, he got arrested, went off to jail, got in front of Ketanji Brown, and instead of giving the mandatory minimum, she gave this man what should have been like 8 to 10 years, only gave him a month. Yeah.
I mean,
basically probation like a month or a year, something like that.
so he gave a dude that sexually violated his niece probation. Basically a probation.
Basically a
term.
probation. Like it was either a month or a year. Can't remember which.
I'm sorry. This is blowing my. It's really blowing my mind that this is the woman that is going to be in the primary seat of justice as a judge, and she giving out light, pretty much premature light sentences to people who deserve, according to what the law said that person deserve. All right, is there any more mind blowing stuff where we need to know other than that? Plus, the one thing I'm probably gonna bring up.
Well, besides that, the fact that nobody on social media besides myself even brought this to people's attention because they're too wrapped up in emotionalism, the color of the skin, and being the first this, because it seems like no matter how bad the person is, the skin color is what matters most to people. Being the first is what matters most to people. And the fact that they was attacking, dare I say, white people for bringing up this woman's record and how she sympathizes with criminals, specifically pedophiles, it's just disturbing to me that we omit that, we ignore stuff like that because she's a black woman that's struggling to get to the top. We gotta move past that. This is not 1922. This is 2022. Okay? We can't just nominate people based on skin color and emotional. We gotta move on from that. We gotta look at this woman and see and do what Martin Luther King said, just not by the character of the skin. I mean, by the content of the character. And I know you're gonna bring the whole woman stitch thing up. My thing is this: it's politics, people, and it's kind of disturbing to me that even Christians didn't even bother looking up this woman's record because everybody was so self-righteous and getting caught up at the fact that she didn't know a definition of a woman, which I probably don't know a definition of it either, but that's a different story.
But I'm gonna get on that. But
because my thing is, and y'all can look at me silly for that, which is fine, but my thing is this: when you ask somebody what an object is in a broad sense and not be specific, guess what's gonna happen? You're gonna get I don't know, or you're gonna get 1,001 answers. Like, for example, like this water. You can ask me what water is, right? I can tell you that it's bottled water. I can tell you that it's purified. I can tell you that it comes in a 16-ounce bottle. I can tell you that the brand, Dasani, Aquafina, Smart Water, Fuji Water. And guess what your answer is going to be? You're going to think I'm incorrect. Why? Because in your mind, none of those answers suffice. Why? Because you can't articulate a specific question as to why you're asking me this very broad question. That's why I didn't like the fact that that the senator from Tennessee was asking her such a broad question because it seemed to me that she was trying to trip her up with that, especially in today's times where transsexual, homosexuality, and stuff like that's being caught up. But it just seems like what she should have did instead of asking that question was be more specific. What she did later on which was having transsexual women performing a biological women's sport. See, that would be more specific, and I would give you more direct answer. Now, going back to what I said earlier, if somebody asked you what a man or woman was, you're going to give either a spiritual answer, a fundamental answer, maybe a biological answer, since everybody want to act like they're biologists and everybody knows that XX and XY chromosomes. First of all, guess what? I'm not a biologist either. And I guarantee you, if somebody asked that question, I would give you a totally different answer. And y'all probably would thought I'd be wrong, which is be fine because I already know that you asking me a broad question, but you're looking for a specific answer. If you want a specific answer, give me a specific question. Stop beating around the bush. That's just my rant.
Okay. Woosah.
That's saying, bro.
Woosah. And